Yeah, one of the first groups that kind of exposed me to touring and, more professional gigs, playing in Detroit, playing in Windsor, bigger venues, was Yellowwood with the Rideout Brothers. And there was 2 runs of that before I was eventually dismissed from the band. And in hindsight, I don't blame them for
see, I didn't know this part of the story. That's it.
Yeah.
You want to walk through that? Those are fun. Those are, especially if you've got some perspective, because I know, like we've talked about, you're still friendly with Matt. You still get along,
absolutely,
right? Yeah. So you want to talk me through the I got fired from Yellowwood story.
Well, I was their noise wizard. Couple synthesizers, an array of pedals,
right?
Some shocking tones to like underline beneath the Rideouts, conservative Christian sound.
Right.
Me not being a Christian, I was experimenting with some drugs, some substance abuse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it turned out that it wasn't a fit, and they felt that musically they could go in maybe a bit more mature path, and I think it worked out well.
Because Matt seems to me, and again, I only met him for the interview, but Matt seems to me to be a very straight-laced is the wrong sort of term, but like, because he seems like he's got his like wild side, but he seems like he's a conservative dude.
I think conservative is a good way to say it. But again, I think when he has his wild side, it is through music.
Yeah.
And I was happy to be part of that with
Yeah.
him. Like, there was some fantastic experimenting of sounds and song structures. And it was all very new to me. And at the time, I was like 18.
So you're experimenting with a lot of stuff in your head at that time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And taking on another member, RF, was fantastic on the low end on bass. And we had something really special for a long time. Doing East Coast tours, played in Detroit quite a bit. It was great. And by that time, by my dismissal, me being fired, I'd started another band with a group of older musicians in the Windsor scene, and we were named the Golden Hands Before God, the Duck's Incredible Magic Band.
Yes,
and the Spirits.
Yeah, because it's not done yet, right?
No, it's not done.
You're one of those 6-page fucking names.
Well, I think one of the better things I read is like, you can never say you've run out of band names, because it's band name. I created one.
So and that's what some major heavy hitters are. Our own, who's not here today, unfortunately, but our own George Mannery's part of that as well.
Absolutely, yeah. That's how I met George. George was, Matt was playing drums for us. We had a revolving door of drummers for a little bit. George was playing drums for us quite a bit. It was a fantastic fit. He was playing with the members of the band as well in It's Junk.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a great fit. Me being the youngest of the band was kind of an eye-opening experience, because it was completely different than the creative process with Yellowwood.
Right.
Where Yellowwood would really hash things out, and it was a really in-depth process and sometimes frustrating to be around. But at the end of the day, there was always something to show for that everyone was really proud about. It was like, wow, we were exploring some interesting, textures and sounds and stuff like this.
Right.
For me as a young musician, that was really important. And then with the hands, the Golden Hands, it was completely new to me, because it was just more like straight ahead rock and roll. We're not going to talk so much about how we're going to make these sounds. We're going to make these sounds. And we were this crew of different backgrounds in music, and it came together really well. And through that group, it introduced me to Montreal, where I live now.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to our full audio episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you find your audio podcasts. The full episodes, highlights, and our live off-the-floor performance videos can be found at our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the AVB Podcast. Of course, you'll find links to our incredible sponsors and this week's guest in the description below. The AVB Podcast is part of the Border City Network. Find more great content at bordercitynetwork.com. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.